welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now we're about to make one of my favorite palate cleansers and just something that's just so absolutely thirst quenching actually.
Definitely, 100% refreshing.
I love that. Now the abundance of mangoes in February make it a good time to freeze some of this exotic fruit and make a very refreshing and light summer sorbet. To add some extra mango flavor, we're using 100% refreshing and tasty Clover Crush.
You had me at the 100% refreshing because this is what I love. Kesama, it's hot.
Yeah.
People are out there sweating like crazy, sweating bullets. What you want is to quench that thirst. That's the one thing I've still to get used to in Cape Town. For one moment, I'm wearing my bomber jacket.
Yeah.
Next thing, the sun is out. Hey! But at least you can refresh yourself with some of this. So we're going to be making a sorbet, which is no-churn, which is simple. And it starts off with getting this beautiful baby into some ice trays because we're going to freeze it up. Once we've put this into the freezer and it's solid, then we're going to blend it up and make a nice mixture. And I think the one thing I love is that it can be made ahead. So if you're expecting guests at any time, you can just make this ahead of time and then set it in the freezer and then just blitz it up as soon as your guests arrive.
Okay, love that. Okay, at the end of the day, we did say it's no churn, no fuss. For some of our viewers, like myself, low-key, I've never made a sorbet in my life. I don't even know what goes into an original sorbet. What is that process of churning? How does it help? And how are we avoiding it in this recipe?
So churning is basically a process of continually to stir the mixture while it freezes. And that prevents you from developing those ice crystals, which makes it a bit of a weird, mouthfeel. So you want, obviously a smooth, creamy texture. Even though it's got no cream in it, you still want that lusciousness.
Yeah.
So churning helps in that process, particularly with ice cream. But we have completely eliminated that step with this, and that's just so great because nobody, has time for an ice cream machine and all of that. It's just too complicated.
It is a bit complicated. And you are using some of my most favorite seasonal fruits here. You're using mangoes and using pineapple. I always add these to my smoothies, so they kind of live in my freezer, I'm not gonna lie. These fruits really live in my freezer, and this is just another way of enjoying them.
Yeah, and you're making such a, giving us such a good tip because, I didn't even know you could freeze fruit.
Yeah.
And when it's mango season, I go ham and I buy like tons
so
of
much.
it, And this is a nice way that you can, still continue to have that amazing fruit in your pantry without having them go rotten. I mean, we're all about, not wasting, especially food,
Yeah.
And this is a nice way and quick and easy trip to, keep your fruit fresh.
I love the fact that you said that. I live alone, so at the end of the day, I hate to admit the amount of fresh produce I have to throw out. Because I'm only one person, there's only so many meals in the day that I can enjoy, and I just love those fresh fruits, vegetables all the time, but I do find myself throwing it away a lot. So this is a way to still enjoy those fresh fruits, vegetables, but in a very different, elevated way.
Look at that creaminess
Just
that
look
you've
at
got in
this.
there. It's so elevated, so great, so smooth, Nakona. And it also comes from the fact that we've frozen some of the fruits. In our smoothie, we've got in our no-churn sorbet, we've got our Clover Crush that we've added in there, but we've also got some pineapple and some mango, just to enhance basically the flavors that we already have in there. I mean, I know that we're using this right now, but it's great to know that even though it's a dessert type dish, it's enriched with, vitamins A, C, and E. So it's good for me. It's a guilty pleasure that you can indulge in.
Yeah. Stunning. Now, my question to you is, again, we are mentioning things that we want our recipes and our ingredients to go so much further for longer. Would we now that you've already blistered together, as is, Jay, could we then re-pop this back into the freezer? And then how will that affect the texture and taste when we now want to enjoy it again? Wouldn't it just be hard? And if we defrost it, wouldn't it just be liquid?
So that's a good point, Pali, but you can freeze this, you can even freeze it into an ice tray, you can freeze it into lollies, but if you're just freezing it as is, just put it back in your blender with some more Clover Crush and zhuzh it up again, and it will be back to the same right smooth consistency.
Yes, you just add more Clover Crush and then voila, we got it. Okay, so taste, that's all about that. So let me have a taste. Ooh.
Refreshing, eh?
And you definitely do not compromise on each fruit. I can still taste quite pronouncedly that mango. I can still taste also the pineapple. I can also just imagine adding a little bit of zing to it by a little dash of lemon as well.
Now, I've got a little trick up my sleeve. And I know you were chopping up some pineapples there to me. Chili powder.
Where?
That's huge in
On the
Durban.
pineapple.
You could put it on the pineapple and have that as a garnish. Put it over your sorbet. Are you going to try? Are you going to try?
Can I dunk it in?
You can dunk it in.
Dumi, welcome to Durban. This is at every beachfront in
Exactly.
Durban. You enjoy it. And especially if the mango is not fully cooked through. You know that raw mango, you just have some chili sauce and some curry powder. Pass me a pineapple there.
Yes,
Let me have
Coach.
some.
Come on.
Dumi, your face, what's going on?
You know me and heat, right?
Ah.
But you know what the pineapple does? It cuts through that with that sweetness. But yeah, it's hot.
No,
I
it
get
is
you.
good.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. Thank you so much, Chef Shay. Thank you so much, Dumi. Now let's get eating. Now that's 100% tasty. To get this recipe, head over to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Yep, that heat is coming through. Delicious.
You know that sad feeling when something good is coming to an end?
100%. But then we could always open another crush.
100%. 100% fresh, 100% goodness.
With love by Clover.